The patient is unstable. Should he go to the ER, ICU, or just inpatient care? I'm not sure.
Hey, what's wrong?
I think the patient look really unstable. Why didn't they stay in ER? Why they are moved to the ICU?
That's a good question. Actually, both ER and ICU handle for emergencies, but they are not the same.
I thought ER was for all critical conditions.
That's not false at all. ER is place where we stabilize emergencies, but ICU is for contagious, intensive care after that. Let me explain. ICU or intensive care unit is a special room provided by the hospital to treat patients with conditions that require close supervision. The ICU room also has an important role in a hospital. This room is equipped by a special medical equipment used to support the treatment and recovery process of patients.
Hi, I'm Pia. Now I will tell you about types of ICU. The first one is a surgical ICU. Surgical ICU is an intensive care unit for post-major surgery or high-risk patient, consisting of 16 beds equipped with intensive care equipment such as ventilator, defibrillator, emergency trolley, and other medical devices. To support the service in this unit, it is complemented with supporting room including minor procedure room, intensive room with airborne isolation, intensive care room, consultation room, medical and nurse station, intensive care room with hemodialysis, and administrative office. The second one is a medical ICU. Medical ICU is an intensive care unit for critically ill or high-risk medical patients with negative pressure, consisting of 12 beds equipped with intensive care equipment such as ventilator, ECMO machines, defibrillator, emergency trolleys, and other medical devices. To support the service in this unit, it is complemented with supporting room including medication preparation room, consultation room, medical and nurse station, intensive care room with hemodialysis, and administrative office. The unit included in the medical ICU are NICU, PICU, and ICCU. Neonatal ICU or NICU, this room is used to care for very young babies. Typically, patients in this room are premature babies aged between 23 until 24 weeks up to 40 weeks and have a normal digestive system. However, in some cases, babies who have been discharged from healthcare facilities cannot be brought into this room if they become ill, as there is a concern that babies in poor condition may transmit illness to other patients. Pediatric ICU or PICU, this room is used for the intensive care of children. It is usually intended for babies who cannot be admitted to the NICU, as well as children up to 18 years old, depending on the hospital place. Intensive Coronary Care Unit or ICCU. This room is used to care for patients with heart problems. It is typically designated for conditions such as coronary heart disease, heart attack, severe cardiac arrhythmias, and heart failure. This unit is a priority for patients with acute cardiovascular disease who are usually in an unstable condition or require intensive medical attention. The third one is the isolation ICU. Isolation ICU is a room designated for care-taking cases that cannot be admitted to standard ICU care due to limitations in facilities for patients requiring special isolation. These cases include patients with hematemesis, melena, gangrene, or strong odors. Patient with false-smelling diabetic wound caused by gas gangrene. Patient with high VH, Patients with SARS, avian influenza, or other diseases requiring isolation and special personal protective equipment or PPE.
And the last one is the high care unit.
High care unit or HCU. This room is used for patients who have shown improvement before being transferred back to inpatient ward while still receiving close monitoring and medical care. Typically, patients in this unit have stable respiration, hemodynamic, and normal consciousness. There are several different conditions and situations that require someone to be treated in the ICU, such as having a serious illness, having an incident, or having just undergone surgery. Patients who are usually in the ICU are patients who experience decreased consciousness. Patients with the critical condition certainly have full extension from hot water, one of which is a nurse. A person needs to be treated in the ICU if they are seriously ill and require intensive care and close monitoring. People who have just undergone surgery might also need intensive care and recover quickly.
Hi, I'm Sinta. Now, I will tell you how to do the assessment for the patient in the ICU using the ICU chart. Let me explain the chart on the ICU. The Intensive Care Chart or ICC is a monitoring sheet used in the intensive care unit or ICU to record the patient's condition periodically and in detail. This chart contains various vital parameters, medical interventions, and fluid balance to help healthcare professionals assess the patient's progress and adjust treatment accordingly. The ICC includes several main sections. The first one is patient information. This section including fields for recording the patient's name, age, sex, weight, height, body mass index or BMI, diagnosis, and the number of days in the ICU or post-surgery. The second one is vital signs and monitoring. This section including hemodynamics monitoring, respiratory monitoring, artery blood gas monitoring, neurological monitoring, and the last one is fluid intake and output monitoring. In the right section, we can see the catheter placement and management. This part is for recording the insertion and removal of catheters, including arterial lines, central venous catheters, nasogastric tubes, urinary catheters, etc. And this section has a function to inspection of the catheter insertion site to prevent infection. And we can see the monitoring of pressure ulcer. This section has a function to evaluate whether the patient has pressure ulcers, their location, size, and severity. The last one is visitors section. This section has a function to record patient visitors, especially to monitor family engagement and emotional response. Then, how about the early warning score on the ICU? Now, I will tell you too about early warning score in the ICU. This is what we call early warning score or EWS. The early warning score is a clinical tool used in the intensive care unit or ICU to assess the severity of a patient's condition based on their vital signs. It helps in early detection of deterioration and determines the need for medical intervention. The EWS is categorized into 3 risk levels. The first one is low risk, with score 3 until 5. The criteria are slight deviations in heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, temperature, or level of consciousness. The patient may include mild hypoxia, which is the oxygen saturation between 91 until 94%, or slightly abnormal respiratory effort. And the patient may appear stable but requires closer monitoring due to early signs of deterioration. The action required are: vital signs must be checked every 4 hours, the nursing staff must be alert and report concerns to the ward doctor for further assessment. The second one is moderate risk with score 6 until 8. The criteria are more pronounced abnormalities in heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, temperature, or level of consciousness. The oxygen saturation drops to 86 until 90%, indicating moderate respiratory distress. Signs of worsening hemodynamic instability, example hypotension or tachycardia. The patient may show signs of increasing distress, confusion, or drowsiness. The action required are: vital signs must be checked every 1 until 2 hours. Arterial blood gas or ABG analysis, including lactate, must be performed to assess oxygenation and metabolic status. And immediate consultation with the ward doctor for potential intervention or escalation of care. The last one is high risk, with score more than 9. The criteria are: severe abnormalities in vital signs indicating imminent respiratory or circulatory failure, oxygen saturation under 85%, severe tachycardia or bradycardia, profound hypotension, or unresponsiveness. The patient possible severe metabolic acidosis with lactate accumulation, and the patient in critical condition and at high risk of cardiac arrest or multi-organ failure. The action required are: immediate arterial blood gas or ABG analysis, including lactate levels to evaluate metabolic distress, and urgent consultation with the ward doctor, and consideration for transfer to higher level intensive care or emergency resuscitation.
Hello, my name is Gisna. Do you know what are the equipments in the ICU? Now I will tell you what are the equipments in the ICU.
The first one is monitor. The ICU monitor is a vital piece of equipment that continuously track and display the patient organ performance. It provides the real-time data on critical vital signs including heart rate, blood oxygen saturation level, and blood pressure, allowing a medical staff to closely monitor the patient condition and respond quickly to any change. The second one is ventilator. Ventilator that is indeed in the ICU room of the hospital and is used to help patients who are being treated to breathe. This tool will be connected to tube that will later be inserted into the nose, mouth, or throat. The third one is defibrillator. Defibrillator, or commonly known as a heart shock device, is used as a tool to restore a normal heartbeat if the heartbeat suddenly passes in a stop condition. The way defibrillator works is by sending an electric shock to the patient's heart so that it can function again. The fourth one is feeding tube. Feeding tube is for critically ill patients unable to eat normally. Feeding tube provide essential nutrition. These tubes are typically inserted through the nose and extend into the stomach, ensuring patients receive adequate nutrition to support their recovery even when they cannot consume food conventionally. The fifth one is infusion. Infusion systems are essential for delivering fluids, medication, and nutrients directly into the patient's bloodstream. Through intravenous administration, this system ensures precise and controlled delivery of vital substances necessary for the patient treatment and recovery. The sixth one is cheering pump. Cheering pump functions the same as infusion, which is to regularly insert drug fluid into the patient's body. The difference is the cheering pump can be adjusted to the doctor recommendation. The volume and time can also be determined. The next one is catheter. Catheter are essential tool in the ICU for the patient who cannot urinate independently. This classic tube inserted through the urinary tract allows for continuous drainage and precise measurement of the urine output, which is crucial for maintaining fluid balance and overall patient condition in the critical care settings.
The last one is emergency trolley. The emergency trolley contains essential life-saving equipment and supplies organized into several key categories. The resuscitation equipment includes a defibrillator, a bag valve mask or BVM, and intubation tools. Emergency medications stored in the trolley comprise epinephrine, atropine for bradycardia, and antiarrhythmic drugs like lidocaine or amiodarone. For diagnostic purposes, the trolley is equipped with an ECG monitor. Additional supplies include IV equipment and syringes for medication administration, bandages and adhesive tape, and personal protective equipment such as gloves to ensure healthcare provider safety during emergency procedures.
And how about indication for the ICU patient? A patient may be discharged from the ICU if there is no longer an emergency condition, no hemodynamic disturbance, and the patient is stable and no longer require close monitoring. The decision to transfer a patient from the ICU is made based on the medical consideration by the ICU attending physician and the treating team. The first one, general criteria such as. The second one, vital signs such as. The third one, laboratory values such as.
Okay, Dimas, you already saw the patient in the ICU, and now I will give you a small scenario for the patient in the ICU. The patient is 70 years old man, post-accident, GCS 10, oxygen saturation at 84%, heart rate is 132 beats per minute, blood pressure is 80/50, and he is unresponsive. Tell me, what do you think about this patient?
Okay, the patient low oxygen saturation, rapid heart rate, and low BP that shows signs respiratory and circulatory failure. GCS 10 means decreased consciousness. That's a neurological concern too. Based on this, the patient is high risk in the early warning score. He needs close monitoring, ventilation support, and maybe even neurological care. I think he should be added into the ICU, not just the ER. ICU provide continuous monitoring and life-saving equipment.
Good job, Dimas. I think you will be ready to become a nurse in the ICU.
Okay, thank you, nurse.
From just observing to making the right call, I have learned that recognizing early signs can truly save lives.
Now I understand how to assess a patient condition and why ICU is so important. Every decision matters.
Every patient has a different condition.
And choosing the right departments
Like ER, ICU, or inpatient
Can make the difference between life and death.
Right way!